So wait a moment, please, folks. Anyway, so I said folks, but actually, so so I have to be polite. Or I have to speak a polite English when speaking or when recording a episode of podcast or when I'm creating an episode of podcast or episodes of podcast. Anyway, so but actually I think this preliminary talking may be working in favor of my speaking English. Not so, anyway. So I think you can listen to the sound of siren. Anyway, so this is an accidental one, but actually but actually I intentionally involved or I intentionally incorporate these external sounds into the episodes of my podcast. Anyway, so but actually, so that is because this is a, you can also enjoy the sounds of this country and island. So which is so where the country I live in is. So Japan, which is an advanced country in East Asia. So anyway, so hello everybody, I'm Richard Gong of Work to Live podcast version, and thank you very much for your listening to my preliminary talking or preliminary speech or preliminary speaking. Anyway, but actually, so when it comes to the main track or when it comes to the title and the conclusion of this episode, so the preliminary talking or the preliminary speaking, it's not related, or that preliminary talking or the preliminary speaking has nothing to do with the trunk or the mainstream of this episode. So anyway, so I have fully digressed from the mainstream or from the main story of this episode. So anyway, so what I'm going to talk about in this time is the title is the title is, maybe you don't know. Anyway, the title is for urethral sounding recommendable stuff to insert. Anyway, so anyway, there's no conclusion, or better said, there is a better explanation for this episode. Or the better explanation is that so I created a list writing recommendable things to insert into urethra. Or in this episode, the urethra I'm assuming, or the urethra I'm dealing with as a hypothetical situation is that of or those of men. So so of course the men and women have urethras, but actually, so the main stuff was the main urethra was the main urethras I'm talking about those or the urethras of men. And anyway, well, the male urethras, which I think are better words for explaining the topic I'm dealing with this time. So so of course so this can be applicable, or this you can insert the things or the stuff introduced in this episode into the urethras of women. But actually that action is not recommendable. Or so what is intended in this episode, or what I intend in this episode is to insert some objects or some stick-like objects or some stick-shaped objects into the urethras of men. But actually, so I do not intend you're inserting some stick-like or stick-shaped things or stick-shaped objects into the urethras of women. So please make sure this one. Or please be careful. Please be careful is a correct English. So I'm speaking English non-natively, or so correctly saying I can't speak English natively. So which is why, so I make a lot of mistakes when speaking English language. So so please make sure. Please also make sure this one or this how should I say this deficit my episodes of podcast have. Anyway, so the recommendable stuff to insert into male urethras. So so to check out which stuff are recommendable stuff to insert into male urethras. So to check out those things, you need to access the description column of this episode so that you can check out what is recommendable, or what is recommendable stuff to insert into the urethras of men. Anyway, so although there's no distinction, or there's no difference written in the description column, nor in the title of this episode. But actually, so please understand. So, which means, these are things recommendable to insert into the urethras of men. But actually, when it comes to inserting those things into the urethras of men, so please be careful that you clean up, or your sexual partners clean up those things, or those objects to be inserted into the urethras of men. So of course, so when it comes to inserting some objects into the urethras of women, so I don't recommend such action, or such actions, or such acts. But actually, when it comes to inserting some things, or some objects into the urethras of women, so this is a prerequisite, or this is a fundamental requirement. But you need to clean up those objects, or those subjects, or those things into which are going to be inserted into the urethras of women and men, of course. Anyway, so anyway, so I have known that, I have already noticed that, I have not introduced what to be inserted into the urethras of men yet. Anyway, so which is why I'm going to tell you which stuff to be inserted. So those things are sticks, and for example, their materials are, for example, metal, wood, plastic, resin. I'm going to tell you again. So sticks are one of the recommendable things to be inserted into the urethras of men, and their materials are metal, wood, plastic, resin. So there are many types of, sticks is what is written in the description column of this episode. But actually, this, to start with, this sexual play has been called urethral sounding, and I'm sorry for the sound of I'm sorry for the sound of buzzer of car. Anyway, so some people call that sound horn, or some people call that buzzer. Anyway, there are many names used for that sound of car. Anyway, so anyway, sticks is over. I have spoken out too much. So of course, so if you can't understand what kind of things are going to be inserted, so please imagine sounding can be a proper word for playing urethral sounding. Anyway, so please imagine such a thing, and other things are chopsticks and stationery. And the examples of stationery are, for example, pens, pencils, thin rulers, which are thin. And when it comes to inserting rulers into the urethras of men, so those rulers have to be thin or small enough to be inserted into urethras. And other thing, so and another thing I have just introduced are chopsticks. Chopsticks are chopsticks are used for eating rice, for example. But actually, chopsticks are recommendable. But actually, when it comes to inserting these things into urethra, please clean them up. And not of course, but actually this time I wrote another group of things. And what is that group is so what that group is, possible but not recommendable stuff to insert. Anyway, so this time the title says recommendable stuff to insert into urethra. So I mistakenly omitted the word, but actually, so this time I also introduced things or objects which are not recommendable to be inserted into the urethras of men, and so those things are food, snacks, worms, feces, vomits, and I'm going to explain the details of these things which should not be inserted into the urethras of men. And first is food. So food, the example of food is, for example, thinly cut vegetables, or thinly cut fruits, or thinly cut meats, pastas and noodles. And to start with, food may have some viruses or some how should I say, microorganisms, food may contain such harmful things, or such harmful, for example, parasites, which can be taken into human bodies. So thinking about which, so food is not recommendable when it comes to the safety of urethral sounding. And another thing is, wait a moment please. So another thing is snacks. And for example, some people may be thinking of inserting gummy worms into the urethras of men. But actually, this is not the recommendable stuff to be used for urethral soundings, and the reason is the same. And to start with, snacks may contain some harmful viruses or harmful microorganisms or harmful parasites. So thinking about which, food and snacks are not recommendable stuff to insert. And worms. So the examples of worms are earthworms, ragworms, and not metalworms, but mealworms. And this of course, the reason is the same as food and snacks, and which means, these worms may contain harmful viruses or dangerous viruses or harmful microorganisms and harmful parasites. And when it comes to ragworms, ragworms has a nature ragworms have a nature, plural term. The plural should have been used for the verb have. Anyway, ragworms have a nature, or have a feature of going into narrow or thin or small holes. So thinking about which, so urethra is a small hole. So thinking about which, when a ragworm intruded into urethra, ragworm may continuously get into a human body. So thinking about which, worms are not recommendable. So as a whole, not only ragworms, but actually other types of worms are not recommendable to be inserted into the urethras of men. And the rest of them are feces and vomits. And I'm going to explain the details of these two things simultaneously. And feces and vomits are dirty, and anyway, the reason are the same. But actually, you can obviously understand that feces and vomits are really harmful to human bodies when it comes to the situation in which these two things are inserted into the urethras of humans. So thinking about which, feces and vomits are not so recommendable. And so finally, I'm thinking of writing these things into an article. So I haven't still decided whether I should create an article for this topic, or it is fine to it's fine to insert this section or this part. I have explained in this episode into another article, having different topic from this episode. Anyway, and so finally, finally, wait a moment, please. So, not of course, but actually, so some people have imagined whether so swab can be useful or not. So when it comes to doing urethral sounding, but actually, some people might have thoughts. Some people might have imagined inserting swab into urethra of men. But actually, swab can be, some swabs are short, which is why once those short swabs are inserted into the urethras of men. So in some cases, you may not be able to extract, or you may not be able to take those swabs again from those urethras. So thinking about which, so accidentally being buried into what I'm talking about is the situation in which swabs are accidentally buried into the urethras of men. So thinking about which swabs are not so recommendable. So but actually, so if you can clean up those swabs, and if you can be careful not to insert swabs too deeply to extract or to produce out of the urethras. So if you can be fully aware of avoiding inserting those swabs into the urethras deeply. So swabs can be an option, but anyways, what I'd like to tell you is that swabs can be an option, but you need to be careful when using them. And another stuff is that when it comes to create, so this can be. So I'm thinking of maintain this episode, not this episode, or I'm thinking of maintain this description column, or when I'm thinking. So when I decided to create this, when I decided to create an article for this topic. So I'm thinking of maintaining and updating such an article. So when it comes to creating some articles of blog. So I think this is one of the things you should be concerned about, or you should think about. So what I'd like to tell you is that so maintenance ability, or so whether you can maintain, or whether you can regularly update those articles or not can be a good stuff to think about when creating articles or posts of blog, for example. And when it comes to creating posts of Medium, I recommend you thinking of whether you can regularly update, or whether you can regularly maintain those articles. So anyway, so such like which so what I'd like you to know, what I'd like you to know is that so anyway, so first of all, so recommendable stuff to insert into the urethras, and another stuff is maintenance ability is maintenance ability is another recommendable stuff when creating posts or articles of blog and Medium and other types of other things. Generally, this is a general stuff. Maintenance ability is a general stuff, not exclusive to adult contents. Anyway, so I'm going to end this episode, and the title is for urethral sounding. So recommendable stuff to insert into urethras, and so I accidentally omitted this word. So and the conclusion is recommendable stuff to insert, and the possible but not recommendable stuff to insert. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.